Hey there, Ben Z here with a Digital Performer quick tip, and today's involves Digital Performer, Vienna Ensemble Pro, and of course Keyboard Maestro. Big thing with today's tip, this is a really easy one, but of course one of the few downsides of using both Digital Performer and Vienna Ensemble Pro is now you have two applications running, both that need to be tended to. You need to save, and for if something's going to crash, obviously saving and save as is the key to not losing your mind and ever letting yourself or your clients down, right? And we all know Command S is what gets it done. It initiates the save command in applications. One of the keys, though, to keeping up a good working pace with Digital Performer and Vienna Ensemble Pro is knowing when to be coupled and decoupled. So you can see here, I am decoupled right now. And, this is oftentimes a very confusing thing for new Vienna Ensemble Pro users, but depending on what your definition of new is, I think it took me a good year till I completely understood the difference. But basically, without going into great depth, basically what this means right now when I am decoupled, it means when I hit save in Digital Performer is only saving Digital Performer. Whereas if I'm in this mode, so now I am coupled, connected, data-wise, information-wise with Vienna. When I hit save in Digital Performer is going to save like the entire setup of all the instruments, all the settings, all the instances. It's going to save it into the Digital Performer session file. And you can often tell the difference between if you hit save when you were coupled, your session is going to be much larger in the Finder than if you hit save when you're decoupled. And basically what works for me, and let me back up for a second. The main reason why you'd want to be saving decoupled is because the save time is very quick. So now I'm not going to save Vienna Ensemble's data. Let's see how long it takes to save. And this is a pretty, this is a very big, session with, I'm just going to show you here, all these tracks, lots of plugins, et cetera, and hit save. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 seconds. Okay. Now let's get back to that. Let's now get coupled up. Oh, and let's hit save, and we're going to count this off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 seconds versus barely 3 seconds. 13 seconds, that's a mojo killer. And that is a huge improvement, though. I will say, thank goodness, seems to me the latest release of Contact, what is it? I think 8.3. Do I have any just Contact instances? Bear with me for 1 second. I want to give the correct version number. Here we go. Here's a Contact. Let's take a look. Sorry, 8.2. They made a huge improvement with the save time. When I would hit save in Vienna, which that's why when I was coupled, the save time took longer, because this is where all the data is, right? I'm going to save this session here in Vienna, Command-Shift-S, and you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we'll call it 9 seconds, plus the 3 seconds for Digital Performer. That's why the save time before was about 13 seconds. Until Native Instruments updated to Contact 8.2, prior to that, Contact 8, that would have taken anywhere with all this stuff here, gosh, 35 to 40 seconds. So that was crazy. But like I was saying, for me, I work decoupled, except for at the end of the day, when I'm going to close a session or I'm done for the day, I will go in here. I'll click on this, which, and the key here is this red thing with the 3 dots, that is changing the status for every single instance of Vienna Ensemble Pro in my digital performer session. Whereas if I just do this, this is just going to change it for the pianos one. So I do this, I would be working like this, decoupled, and that's like, all right, I'm done for the night, done for the day. Now they're connected data-wise, hit save, and it's sort of like an extra, sort of as some people call it, belt and suspenders, because if anything is corrupted, I at least have all of the Vienna data saved in Digital Performer, plus I also save my Vienna server sessions with the same name in the same folder as my Digital Performer sessions. Now, you're probably wondering, as I said at the beginning, well, where does Keyboard Maestro come into all this? So once again, what did I used to do in my sort of neurotic saving, which is like every couple minutes, every 30 seconds, if maybe I've like making some big edits and moving stuff around, saving all the time, kind of old habits. Digital Performer is extremely stable for me at version 11.3.4 just came out. That's right, I updated it. I would have to hit save here. Then I'd have to switch over to Vienna, which for me is Control 2 to go to my second desktop on this display. Come in here and hit Command Shift S, and then switch back to Digital Performer. Who needs that, right? All that clicking and stuff. So what did I do? Most of the time I'm just like, saving in Digital Performer, but like every 4th time I made a Keyboard Maestro shortcut, which for me is Shift F19, and watch what that does. When I hit Shift F19, it saves in Digital Performer, switches over to Vienna, saves in Vienna, switches back to Digital Performer, and then in this case, after about 13 seconds, that spinning wheel's gone, and I'm ready to work. Let's take a look at what we have going on in Keyboard Maestro. That's going to be in a global group. Here it is, Save DP and VEPro. This one took a little bit of doing, but see, if you Shift F19, I tell it no matter what, activate Digital Performer. So like even if I'm over, let's just show you this, even if I'm over in Vienna and I'm like, oh, I want to save everything, Shift F19, it's first going to snap back to Digital Performer, save, back to Vienna, saving, and then back to Digital Performer. And it's a beautiful thing. So it makes Digital Performer the active app. I tell it to pause for 1 second, kind of lets everything settle in. The Command S then pertains to Digital Performer. Then I tell it to activate Vienna Ensemble Pro, the app, all the windows, then save in there. In that case, because I'm saving the whole network session, Command Shift S. I then tell it to pause for 3 seconds while in Vienna. I had to fine tune that. If it was too quick, it would go to Digital Performer and then it would kind of get pulled back to Vienna, the actual window. And I'm not sure why that was, but I knew I could kind of tune that issue out with a little pause. Then I tell it to hit Command 1, which switches my desktop space back to Digital Performer. And then we're all good, right? How cool is that? So Keyboard Maestro is just instrumental for me to make my workflow and my workspace just super, super cool and efficient. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you have any cool workflows that you're working with. Drop it in the comments. I think it's fantastic when we can all kind of learn from each other in these spaces. And see you next time. Thanks for checking this out.